Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, I was sent the words by Prabhu, but then it is in my mobile. Okay. Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 2, verse number 53. The chapter contents of Gita summarized. Shruti vipratipanate yada sthasyati nischala samadbhav achala buddhi tada yogam avapshasi. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. To say that one is in samadhi is to say that one has fully realized Krishna consciousness. That is, one in full samadhi has realized Brahma. The highest perfection of self-realization is to understand that one is eternally the servitor of Krishna and that one's only business is to discharge one's duties in Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly into communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve results by such activities and attain conclusive knowledge. One has only to carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, verse number 53, translation. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we are reading this section of Bhagavad Gita wherein Krishna explains to Arjuna about Titha Pragya. In the next few shlokas, Krishna is going to describe the symptoms of such a person. But now we are discussing is the shlokas where Krishna says how you become such a person. So one of the obstacle of a person or a practitioner to become liberated is the Vedas, the instructions of the Vedas. So the Vedas contain instructions of all kinds, including those which help us to fulfill our desire. fulfill our desire. The jiva, the conditioned soul, when he comes to the material world, he comes for fulfilling its material desires. And in order to fulfill those material desires in an appropriate way, Krishna gives instructions in the Vedas. And these instructions are very attractive, explaining various aspects and goals. Like somebody wants to have good health, the Vedas recommend to worship sun god, Surya Dev. Somebody wants knowledge, they are recommended to worship Saraswati Ma. Somebody wants a good spouse, they are recommended to worship Shiv and Parvati. Somebody wants to become rich and opulent, they are requested to worship Indra. And so many other activities of Karma Kand or Jnana Kand or Upasana Kand are mentioned, which attract people to perform those activities and receive material benefits. Just like a restaurant would have very attractive ambience and parking spot and nice tables and nice chairs and aromatic food and good color of the food and attractive menu and a waiter with nice dress serving. And people like to go there and eat and enjoy. But what will happen if you every day go there? Your health is going to be spoiled. Everybody knows that. Especially junk food. So it's attractive. Cannot say no. You eat one, you want the second time. But it's going to spoil you eventually. Spoil your health. Or for that matter, even liquor or cigarette. Attractive, but eventually spoiling your health. In the same way, Karma Kand is attractive because it gives enjoyment in heaven. And who doesn't want to go to heaven and enjoy with nice apsaras and somras and long duration of life and opulent palaces and gardens and foods and beverages and dresses and ornaments and jewels, a higher society. But then, after thousands of years in heaven, you again come back to earth, again in the womb of the mother. 9 months, upside down, suffering. So birth is suffering, death is suffering, and in between old age and disease is suffering. So the Vedas are in this language of Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, Upasana Kand, are encouraging people to fulfill their material desires, but eventually the performer continues in the cycle of birth and death. That's not good. Long term, not good. Short term may be attractive, but long term is entanglement. Karma Kand is an entanglement because Karma Phala is there. And because of that Karma Phala, whether happiness or distress, one has to take another birth. And another birth is suffering. Birth, death, disease, old age are suffering. Just like once there was a mouse, a rat in a field, very big field. And that field was empty, full of sand. And it was summer season. So the sand was very hot in the daytime. And the mouse was on the top of that sand, feeling very hot, burning sensation. So much hot that mouse cannot sit, cannot lie down, cannot stand, cannot walk. It was very hot. What will the mouse do? So what will mouse do? Mouse started running in circles in the sand to somewhere find some relief. But there was no relief. So he kept on running, and eventually came to a point where it was not hot. He felt relief. Thanda, cool, very nice. What was that point? It was shadow of a cobra. Running, it came at the shadow of the cobra. So much relief. But what happened next moment? The cobra captured the mouse and finished. The cobra ate the mouse. That's karma kand. We are keeping and running in our life, earning money. And then we do some karma for relief. We come in contact with sense objects. The eyes come in contact with some beautiful form or movie. The ears come in contact with nice music. And the tongue comes in contact with something tasty. And the nose comes in contact with something fragrant. And the skin comes in contact with something soft or pleasurable. And we think, wow, relief. I'm getting relief by this contact. I'm getting relief by going to a movie theater or watching a television. I'm getting relief by reading a novel. I'm getting relief by eating some sweets. And I'm getting relief by coming in contact with a woman or a man. I'm getting relief by shopping or hearing song. But what is happening, my dear sir? Just like the mouse is getting relief and being captured by the cobra, Maya Devi captures us and we get entangled in the karma of running, the karma of coming in contact with sense objects. And because of that entanglement, my this life liberation is cancelled. I have to have one more birth, one more birth, one more birth, and millions of births are cycle of birth, and that going on. No use. The soul is permanent, Sat, Chit, Anand. And the body is temporary. So permanent soul in a temporary body is incompatible. So we'll never be happy. How much we come in contact with sense objects. A person thinks, if I go to this shopping mall and purchase this 10 items on my list, I will be happy. And he goes and purchases every day. But he's never happy. The very owner of the mall has 10 lakh items in his stock and he is not happy. How will you be happy taking 10 items of that 10 lakh items? How will you be happy by those 10 products when he is not happy with 10 lakh products? Not. So the objects we acquire are temporary, material. Soul is permanent, spiritual, incompatible, that can never give us happiness. So Krishna tells Arjuna, the duty in the human form is to acquire divine consciousness, Krishna consciousness, which means our goal is to get connected to Krishna. Then we'll be happy because Krishna is permanent and transcendental, and soul is permanent and transcendental. So permanent soul can be happy with permanent Krishna. A transcendental soul can be happy in transcendental Krishna. An eternal transcendental soul, spiritual soul cannot be happy with temporary material sense objects. Simple compatibility issue. Cannot be happy. So in this verse, Krishna says, for one to acquire this Krishna consciousness, one has to stop getting attracted to these flowery words of the Vedas, which instructs us to karma kand and worship the demigods and follow some traditional rituals to go to heaven or to go and stay nicely in this world. That's not the goal of life. If you are in a jail, in a prison, and you get an opportunity to talk to the prime minister of the country or the president of the country, the head of the country, what will you request him? My dear sir, give me a higher prison. This prison I don't like. Give me a higher prison, a better prison. It should have nice curtains on the windows and it should have good flooring and there should be good menu. No, tell him I want to be free from prison, not go from a low class prison to higher class prison. So heaven is also a prison because part of the material world. The goal is to be free from this prison. The goal is go back home, back to Godhead, go to Krishna. And why Krishna? Because I am part and parcel of Krishna. Each one of us has a relationship with Krishna, not with Indra, Chandra, Varun, Vayu, Brahma, Shiv, Durga, Surya. We don't have a relationship, Ganesha, with all these demigods. These demigods mostly are post. And there's a particular person, Indra today. Indra is name of the post. Surya is name of the post. The devotee sitting on the post of Surya is Vivaswan. So after a few thousand years, Vivaswan will go away and some other person will come. And he'll also be called Suryadev. The post name is Suryadev. So the post person keeps changing. We don't have any eternal relationship with that post or that person. We have eternal relationship with Krishna. So when I come in contact with Krishna, I become happy. So I worship Krishna. Just like a small baby is crying, you put that baby in any woman's lap, the baby will not stop crying. But put the baby in mother's lap, the baby will stop crying. Baby will identify the lap of the mother. That's natural bonding. You put the baby in the lap of Miss Universe, very beautiful. Baby will not stop crying. You put the baby in the lap of a Mataji wearing 1 lakh rupee sari, very rich, gold ornaments. Baby will not stop crying. It doesn't want money or beauty. Baby wants my mother. In the same way, we babies, who is our mother and father, that's Krishna. So if I come in contact with Krishna, then only I'll be happy. That is the goal of life. That's divine transcendental consciousness, to be connected to Krishna. If I'm not coming in contact with Krishna, if I don't depend on Krishna, it will not work. So the Vedas, they want to fulfill our material desires and entangle ourselves. We don't have to do that. But then suddenly overnight, I cannot be zero of desires. I cannot be without desires, material desires. As a soul, I'll be always having desires. Some people will tell you, oh, be desireless. You will be very happy. Be desireless. That's not possible. That's not possible. You can't say the only desire I have is to be desireless. That itself is a desire. So being desireless is not possible. So we should have spiritual desire to please Krishna. And we have material desires because we are not used to spiritual life. We are transitioning, we are sadhakas. So we depend on Krishna for material desires. And he gives us. He has already given us earth, water, fire, rain, vegetables, fruit, sun, moon, ether, air, sound, this body, eyes, nose. Everything he has already given what we need. Nothing is missing in this world. He has given a mother, father, brother, sister. Already he has given us everything. Now we have to serve him. Still, if we have desire, we should go to Krishna. We should depend on him. He will fulfill. He will fulfill beyond our imagination. It's like there was a boy who was very naughty. So one day the mother of the boy told the boy, look, tomorrow we are going to the house of my sister, Mosi, your Mosi, sister, mother's sister, aunt. So there you better don't be naughty. Behave yourself. So boy said, okay. So next day they went to the aunt's house, mother's sister's house. And both the sisters are talking, long talk. The boy is sitting quietly on the chair. So the aunt thought this boy must be hungry. He has come to my house and sitting for a few hours. So she went and bought a tray of chocolates and kept in front of the boy. And have chocolates. Now this boy who is so naughty, he used to love chocolates. Every day he would purchase chocolates. He used to love it. Now there's a full tray of chocolates in front of him. The aunt offered, have chocolate. The boy said, no. The aunt said, take one. Said, no. Said, you must be hungry, take. Said, no. Said, children like chocolate, you take. Said, no. 10 times she told, said, no. He didn't take. So finally their meeting was over. The mother and son were going out, walking back. When I was about to go out on the door, the aunt said, wait. And she took lots of chocolates in her hands and put it in the pocket of the boy. Said, go eat on the way. So they came out of the door and they were walking, and he started taking one chocolate, opening the wrapper and eating continuously. So the mother was surprised. She said, hey, you naughty boy, you like chocolate so much. Every day you insist me to purchase chocolates. And today my sister told you 20 times, eat chocolate, eat chocolate, eat chocolate. And you say, no, no, no. And now you are eating one by one. What is this? The boy said, mother, my hand is small. My hand is small. If I take with my hand, very little will come. But because I didn't take, my aunt gave with her hand, and she has a big hand. See, so many came. See, so clever boy. In the same way, this world is full of chocolates. And I want some, full of objects. If I extend my hand, very little will come because my hand is small, my reach is small. But if I fold my hands and pray to Krishna and he extend his hand and take something and put in my pocket, more will come because Krishna's hand is big. This whole world is belonging to Krishna. So we depend on Krishna even for our material desires. Not follow the path given by the Vedas to fulfill our material desires and get entangled. So when Krishna gives us, there is no entanglement. Why? Because it's spiritual, it's blessed by Krishna, and we use it in the service of Krishna. And a very nice example is of Kardam Muni. Kardam Muni is a brahmachari practicing austerities in a forest. And he has nothing, staying under a tree. He has no clothes, he has no food, he has no utensils, he has no toothbrush, toothpaste. He doesn't even have a mobile, imagine. Nothing. Just staying. And because of his austerity, he became so skinny, all bones were visible, all veins were visible. He is a pure devotee. Krishna got pleased by his bhakti and he appeared in the form of Vishnu sitting on Garuda in that forest. And Kardamuni offered Dandvat Pranam. And when Vishnu saw Kardamuni's body so skinny because of austerities, there were tears in the eyes of Vishnu, glided down and got collected in a pool of tears. That's called Bindu Sarovar, even today present in Gujarat. So much austerities he performed. So the Kardamuni offered prayers, and at the end of prayers, he said, my dear Lord, I have a desire to marry. So please arrange a suitable girl. Lord Vishnu smiled. He said, Kardam, I know your desire already, so I've already arranged. 2 days later, the king of the planet, Manu Maharaj, will personally come on his golden chariot with his wife and daughter, Devahuti. She is very beautiful and qualified. And he will do Kanyadan. He will give her his daughter Devahuti to you. You accept she is a suitable girl for you. The monk said, okay. And after 2 days, Manu Maharaj came on a golden chariot with Shatarupa, his queen, and Devahuti daughter. And he offered in charity a daughter to Kardam. Devahuti was not an ordinary girl. She was highly qualified and beautiful. When Devahuti was of age 11 or 12, she was playing with a ball on the terrace of her palace. Very high skyscraper palace. She was playing on the ball. Playing on the terrace with ball. And in the sky, there was a private plane going, belonging to Gandharva, very rich Gandharva, from Gandharva Loka, celestial, heavenly planet. And this Gandharva used to every day play music and sing in the assembly of Indra. And he would every day see the dance of the beautiful Apsaras and interact with them. So he's sitting on the plane, he saw Devahuti playing on the terrace. Such a beautiful girl, so young and beautiful. By seeing Devahuti, he felt unconscious on the floor of his own plane. That Gandharva who sees the dance of Apsaras every day, beautiful heavenly Apsaras, if he falls unconscious by seeing Devahuti, we can imagine how beautiful Devahuti is. And the daughter of the king of the whole planet, Manu Maharaj, highly rich and qualified in all ways. And Kardamuni gets to marry her, and Kardamuni has nothing. He's just staying under a tree naked. He doesn't have a house and household paraphernalia and bank account or job or savings or property or nothing. And Manu Maharaj, the king of the planet, happily comes and does it. Charity. Because Vishnu told him. This is because he prayed to Krishna. His desire was fulfilled beyond his imagination. Moreover, Kapila Muni, Krishna himself appeared as Kapila Muni, as the son of Kardam Muni and Devahuti, and gave Sankhya philosophy, which is in the third canto of Bhagavatam, and they became famous. This story is lakhs of years before, and even today, the name is there in Bhagavatam. So when Kardam Muni depends on Krishna, he gets more than he imagines. We depend on Krishna, we get more than we imagine. We just do our hard work thinking that I will manage. Without dependence on Krishna, we get a very meager result. If Kardam Muni had made his biodata and uploaded on Muni website, do you think he would have got Devahuti? Or Kardam Muni gone door to door, I want to marry, I want to marry. Do you think he would have reached Devahuti? But he went to Krishna in the forest. And Manu Maharaj comes and does a charity of her daughter, of his daughter, in the forest. So we depend on Krishna, not on the flowery words of the Vedas or sense gratification or sense objects or heavenly planets and eventually another round of cycle of birth and death. And we develop this dependence on Krishna by practicing bhakti, which means offering devotional service to Krishna, waking up early morning, taking bath, applying tilak, wearing fresh washed clothes and going for Mangalarti in Brahma Muhurta period and offering obeisances and singing and dancing and Narsinga Arti and Tulsi Arti, worshipping Tulsi Maharani and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 16 rounds on our beats every day in the morning. And then Shingarati, then Guru Puja, worshipping Srila Prabhupada, and then hearing Bhagavatam class and reading Bhagavatam, honoring Prasadam, doing our services, having honest income and giving charity to cows, sadhus, Krishna, and helping in preaching activities, assisting Vaishnavas, preaching, book distribution, classes, programs. We remain busy with Krishna whole day. That's bhakti. Please, Krishna, Yasya Prasadat, Bhagavad Prasad, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, a pure devotee of Krishna. And gradually we get purified and go back home, back to God, and the cycle of birth and death is finished. It's only possible by bhakti. And this morning program is very important, and this hearing Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and reading and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very important. In Kali Yuga, this is the only way. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namaiva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gati Ranyatha. Kalau, in this age of Kali, Kevalam, there is only one way to have Gati, to have liberation. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. The holy name of Hari, the holy name of Hari, the holy name of Hari. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gati Ranyatha. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. Only one way. And that's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, extremely attentive without offenses. We chant and hear, chant with our lips and hear with our ears. And the holy name comes out of the mouth and goes inside the whole of the ear. From the whole of the ear, there's a flyover directly to the heart. And the holy name goes to the heart. And the soul is in the region of the heart. And when the holy name touches the soul, you get awakened that yes, I am servant of Krishna. That is called self-realization. This self-realization occurs in the heart only by transcendental sound vibration, holy name and Bhagavatam spoken by a pure devotee. And this transcendental sound vibration can reach the heart only through the ears. There is no other way. It cannot reach through nose or eyes. This is very important. So when we chant our rounds, we should be extremely attentive every day, 16 rounds without fail. And hear Bhagavatam every day. And associate with devotees and perform various services. Then we develop divine consciousness. And this should be done under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, not independently. We should seek guidance from a bona fide spiritual master, from a pure sadhu, who both speak as per scriptures. Guru has to follow scripture, sadhu has to follow scripture. Scripture is center. Prabhupada has given these books, they are the center. Books are the basis. Everybody in ISKCON has to follow this. So we continue to practice bhakti as we are all joined here. That means we are practicing devotee. So we continue this whole life. That's the purpose of this human form of life. And my dear devotee, this human form of life is a very great opportunity. Very nice gift given by Krishna. Just little, very, very little, tiny effort you put, you will see one day Shyam Sundar face to face. Very tiny effort. And that effort is get up early morning and chant your rounds and hear Bhagavatam, Mangalarti. See Krishna face to face. How much more age we have now? Somebody may be 10 years, somebody may be 20, 30, 40, 50, different level of audiences. Just see how many, as per average age, how many more years you have? 30 years? Just next 30 years or next 10 years or next 5 years or next 50 years, every day get up morning and do 16 rounds. After 30 years, you see Krishna face to face. Wow, what the opportunity. Just next few years I have to do chanting and I'll see Krishna face to face, Golok Vrindavan and play with him. But if I miss this, the next life, become a dog or a cat or a monkey or a donkey or a horse or a tree or a bird or a fish or an insect or a snake or a human or coronavirus. Don't know what will become next life, and it will continue again. Next time when I'll become human and when I'll come in contact with devotees and when I will practice bhakti, I don't know. Why to miss this opportunity? I have this opportunity. Last flight or last train of the day. If you don't catch, you will not reach home. So last flight, this human form is a flight. Catch it and you go back home, back to Godhead. This life. Don't miss it. Otherwise, again, cycle of birth and death. Go on, go on, go on. Not good at all. Not good. So be extremely determined and serious that this life is last life. I'll go back home, back to Godhead. I will not go in the womb of the mother again and again come out and learn A, B, C, D and 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4 and do bakwas, all this nonsense. No, I'll just go back home, back to Godhead, be very determined. Pray to Krishna by his causeless mercy. We chant the holy name. We come in contact with sadhus and we hear Bhagavatam. And our life is changed. So that's what ISKCON is for, to help us to go back home, back to God, and not for anything else. So we should be determined and practice nicely. Prabhupada says success is guaranteed for a rigid practitioner. That is his mercy. We practice rigidly, seriously, every day, 16 rounds, nicely, sincerely, strictly following 4 regulative principles. And serving, and we go back home to Krishna. That's the goal of life. Okay, my dear devotees, we will end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. With any comments or questions you may ask or type.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your very much enlightening and enlivening class. A lot of practical examples you related with this chocolates and how we have to pray to Krishna and how we should take this life, human life, very seriously. And in this lifetime itself, we need to go back to his abode. So thank you very much, Prabhu. Like devotees, we have unmuted option, unmuted you. So any devotee have any questions related to today's discussion, please you can ask Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, if there are no questions, we'll end.
Yes, Prabhu, I think this was like class was very clear. So with all blessings of Vaishnavas like you, we'd like to take it very seriously and move forward, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much for that.
All the best. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhyavcha bhaktanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Chandra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Gokuleshwar Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, devotees. So thank you all for your participation for today's Bhagavad Gita class. So tomorrow again we'll have morning Srimad Bhagavatam class at 9:30, and tomorrow evening we'll be having Bhagavatam 10th canto study by Space Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. So we'd like to welcome all the devotees for this programs, and other programs will be updated in WhatsApp. Please do attend the programs. Hare Krishna. So Sudarshan was there, Prabhu. Any announcements are there?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
You announced it already. Thank you, Prabhu. Nothing more, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Also, we are approaching Nityananda Trayodasi also. So,
Prabhuji, Nityananda Trayodasi, morning class, evening class, எப்போ வேணும்?
evening class, Prabhu.